Man, we're almost there. That's cool. So in this lesson, we're gonna be covering basic editing. What are the basic editing tools that Pro Tools has to offer, and we're gonna be editing a few little clips. Remember, this lesson is part of a mini-series called Pro Tools in 15 minutes, and it's pretty awesome because you take 15 minutes of your time, you watch 6 videos, less than 3 minutes long, and you're gonna learn everything you need to know how to record and start recording in Pro Tools. So go and check those videos out. They're awesome, and they're free, you know? So awesome. Okay, so there are 3 main editing tools in Pro Tools, and you must know these tools because they are kind of like the hammer and nails of a carpenter. They are the core of the editing world. You will need to know these tools so you can do basic editing in your clip. So let's dive into it. Okay, the first tool we're going to talk about is the trim tool, and the trim tool basically allows us to modify the length of a clip by moving the beginning and end boundaries. This is very useful to whenever you just want to focus or you just want to use a specific section of that clip. The next tool is called the Selector Tool, and the Selector Tool basically it's what it is. Allows you to make selections in the edit window or in the clip that you want to work on. Let's say you want to select this specific area of this clip. Once you selected that, you can do anything to that selection. You can delete it, you can copy it, you can paste it, you can do processing to that selection. Anything you can do to it. Now the next one is the grabber tool, and the grabber tool is just pretty simple. It's just the hand tool that allows you to move clips or tracks around the edit window. You can do so by moving the clips anywhere you want. You can change tracks or things like that. Now, one really cool thing that Avid did is that they bundled these 3 tools together into something we call the Smart Tool. And to access the Smart Tool, we just click in this area in here, in this outer area, and then click there, and we now have the Smart Tool. And the Smart Tool is basically all of those 3 tools together and bundle into one tool. And to access the different tools, you just place your cursor in different places of the clip. If you want to use the trim tool, you put the cursor at the beginning or end of that clip. If you want to use the grabber tool, you use the bottom section. If you want to use the selection tool, you use the top section. Also, it gives you options for fades if you use the top corners of that clip. So now that we have a basic understanding of these tools, now let's work with our clips. What we're going to do to our clips is to make sure they're trimmed properly. And one of the reasons we're doing this is because all of this empty space in here, the more tracks you have with empty space, the more noise is going to be added to your song. So we don't want that. So to trim it, the way to do this and the way I like to do it is basically just trim the beginning kind of as close as I can to the first note or first beat. Kind of like a bar or 2 behind, so it leaves us a space to put fades. The ends, I treat them a little different because if you go too far, you can cut off the tail of your track. And for example, here in my guitar, I'm leaving a long fade, and I don't want to cut that too fast. So let's listen to it. So the guitar stops playing somewhere in here, so I'm going to trim 1 bar of that and then place a fade. Remember, to access the fades, you just place your cursor in the top corners of your clip. I'm going to place a fade in the bass section, and then I'm going to place a longer fade in the drums because the fade seems to end pretty abruptly. So let's see how that sounds. Much smoother. So now if you notice, my guitar is a little off, so to fix it we need to move it with the grabber tool. I'm gonna move my guitar and align it with the bass and drums. So let's do that. Use the grabber tool and let's place our fades. And now let's play it. So, okay, now let's do some basic mixing.